If you're a service provider and you feel like you need to chase customers, you're begging them, you need to drop your prices in order to buy your products, then there is one strategy that is actually going to turn things around for you. And I'm talking about story selling. In this video, I'm going to share with you what exactly is story selling and how you can actually use it to grow your service business. My name is Juan and I'm a story selling consultant to service providers. And over the last couple of years, I've been helping entrepreneurs simplify their message and implement a persuasive story selling strategy that allows them to attract and convert customers by actually giving value. If you want to know more about it, we actually offer a weekly live story selling for service providers masterclass. All you gotta do is scroll down in the description of this video to find the link. A couple of years ago, I was hosting a monthly meetup, and at the end, something happened that completely changed the way I see business. At the end of this meetup, there was one person that looked at me. He was confused. He was even upset. And he just said to me, "Wait, that's it? You're not gonna offer anything? You don't, what do you sell? Is there a way my company can work for you?" And actually, I didn't have anything to offer. So I just said, "No, that's it." Like, "But why don't you sell something?" Like, "Well, this is a community event and that's the idea to help out and give back." And he was so frustrated because he actually wanted to work with me and I didn't have anything to offer. And so this thing actually started to happen more and more often. And on the one side, I was quite embarrassed because I felt like, okay, maybe I'm an amateur and I should be offering something. And because I don't, they can see right through me that I'm not really serious about this or something like that. And on the other side, I was frustrated with myself because obviously I wanted to put something together. People wanted it, they wanted to work with me, and didn't have anything. I couldn't come up with something that I could offer to them. And now, looking back, at the time, I realized that I had figured out something that actually not many people were doing. And that is something similar to what Gary Vaynerchuk says in his jab, 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 right hook, which is give, 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 ask. But what I figured out was give, 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 and then get. Because I was going out of my way to provide such a quality experience for people for free, what was happening is that now I was proving myself, I was positioning myself as an expert, and because I helped them solve a problem that they were dealing with, now they wanted me to help them even further. The problem was that I didn't have anything to actually take that relationship to the next level. And so when I went back to the drawing board, I figured that I actually knew how to put together a process to sell to them. What I didn't realize is that what I figured out was actually what I went to call story selling. The idea is that just like in a movie, you have different stories that are happening, but because they're not completed, they hook you in and they keep you watching. This is what is called a open loop or nested loop, where they start one loop and they don't close it, and they open another one, and then they close one, and they open another one, and so on, so on, and so on. And this is how writers keep you hooked so that you watch the whole film all the way until the end when the problem gets resolved. When it comes to your business, your story, the story of your company, is the movie, is the macro story, the one thing that puts everything together. But your sales process, it's going to be just like those open nested loops, where each one it's a micro story of its own that actually solves a problem for the customer and opens a new one so that they can move on to the next stage, all the way until building that tension that the customer can only solve by buying your product, because your product is the solution, the tool that they need to solve their problem. This for me was completely mind blowing. But the moment it came together and the clarity that I gained from seeing how the whole process works completely changed things for me. Because as I went out to my meetups and I was delivering trainings, more and more people were really mind blown by seeing the connection between the two. And what happened was that now they wanted my help to help them change their own story and their sales process. What I didn't know was what happens after this. And so when they came to me, I didn't have anything to sell to them. And that's when I understood that if people feel that you have given them value and that you have helped them with a problem, they're going to go out of their way to try to work with you because they have seen that you have helped them move forward and they want to pull that string for as far as it can go. And that's why our framework, story selling, focuses on giving value so that the person builds that connection with you, builds that trust, you position as an authority, and then when they're ready, they're going to book that call with you because they want to go and take the last step. They know that you can help them. And so by the moment that you send them a proposal, you're really just sending is an agreement that they're going to sign. Now, Juan, what exactly then should I say? How should my sales process should look like? Well, the sales process is going to depend on what you're selling and at what price point. But when it comes to the stories that you need to be sharing, well, that's actually quite easy. Because as you get out there and talk to customers, and as you start figuring out what it is that works to hook them and to talk with them, what resonates, there is one thing that is going to be super easy for you. Now, this is important because if you get this wrong, people are not going to be hooked to move to the next step. And so, what you need to focus on is on identifying fake beliefs that your customers have and then delivering stories, your story of how you either figure it out or how you learn the lesson that allow you to crush this fake belief to move on. By sharing that story, then people are going to get a new perspective on something that holding has been holding them back, and they're going to be able to move forward thanks to you providing a different approach. This is massive because now they're going to feel so connected to you. They feel so grateful. You're so scarce because your time is limited. And so that's why, at the same time as you're sharing these stories, you start involving psychological principles of sales. If you want to know more about that, you can look into Robert Cialdini's book, in where he explains those different elements of persuasion. But when you start sharing that story and you structure it in a way that follows your sales process and you provide open loops and closing loops that guide the person through one step through the other by giving value, you're actually hitting in all those different elements. I wanted to talk about this because storytelling has become sort of a buzzword. Everybody is thinking that they need to come up with some random story just to capture your audience's attention, your customers. People come to me all the time, Juan, I just need a quick story that I can just share so that people want to buy my product. And the reality is that your story is actually the result of everything else in your business. That means the people that you target, that means your offer, that means the strategic positioning that you choose, and so on and so on and so on. But when it comes to the sales process, you can very easily then implement story selling, where the story of your business is actually the just like the movie, the main story, and then every step in the way is the sales process. If storytelling is something that you have been implementing in your business to communicate your services to customers, then I want to hear about it. Make sure to share in the comment section below how you're using storytelling to sell to customers. And if you like content like this, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell because we are posting twice a week content related to story selling for service providers. My name is Juan Guerra. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in our next video.